Sega
is looking to reboot some cult classics, and we're here for it. So last year, it was announced that Sega's Super Game Initiative is a plan by the Sega company to basically reboot some of their cult classic games and pretty much reimagine it and reinvent it into the new space that we have today. Fortnite seems to be a pretty big inspiration for this new sort of initiative to happen, as pretty much the free-to-play game. It's had critical acclaim, competitions. It's still growing.
It's got an esports dedicated to it.
Do you know what I mean? With a bunch of millions of pounds in the cash pot.
Yeah.
And so Sega's basically looking at rebooting two of their classic titles. Whether it will be in a similar model, who knows? But they're looking at Fortnite. Hopefully not. 100%. Hopefully not. But they're looking at Fortnite as pretty much the inspiration. And these two titles are Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. Now, the news has reported that Crazy Taxi is basically in development. And it could potentially come out in the next 2 to 3 years.
Could also still get cancelled.
Exactly. It could also get cancelled as well. Same thing with Jet Set Radio.
Yep.
And so it's very, very interesting. I never thought I was never expecting this to hear any such news, to be fair.
Ain't nobody was.
So the fact that it's a thing is actually very crazy to me. So what do you think about all of this?
I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Not too excited though, because obviously again
Could get cancelled.
So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see really.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations are set pretty low again because they get cancelled.
Yep.
But yeah, man, like if it comes, then it comes, innit? And then I'll be excited because Crazy Taxi was one of my favorite. It's one of my favorites because
it's
obviously like it's a cult classic.
It had the culture by the balls.
It was in like many of arcades.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah, man.
And it's interesting as well because there's actually a Switch game that's in development. I don't think it's out yet, but there's a game.
Well, the one similar to Jet Set Radio.
Yeah,
I think that's out already.
No, what?
I think so,
bro. If that game is out, hold on. So the game is called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Yes.
Cyberfunk. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, and it is pretty much a game inspired by Jet Set Radio.
Yep. Call it a rip-off if you will.
I'm gonna check it and see if it's available, because if it is, bro, I'm actually buying it right now as we are doing this episode.
It's either out now or it's out soon. It's out this year for sure though.
We'll check that later. But yeah, it's like the one thing for me that I'm actually very interested to see is I really do hope they pull this off. And the reason why I say this is because I believe it will open scope for a lot of other developers to reboot some classic games. So Sega Dreamcast has some flipping classics, man. Again, they brought two of the biggest titles on their platform. And I would love to see something in other games as well. Maybe a reboot of Sonic Adventure 2.
I mean, EA is doing Dead Space. So
you see, but the EA back then that was doing Dead Space is not the EA now.
True.
That's doing Dead Space. And I don't even think the original
guy
not,
who was. Not the original, yeah, no.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they're also redoing Max Payne. So there's that.
That's the thing, though. I think even like with you saying that, it's not even got me questioning the reboot for Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi.
I mean, we always have to question it, which is why I said my expectations are low anyways.
Yeah.
Because one, it could always get cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
And two, is it the original brains?
Yeah.
It's probably not the original brains. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing as well. So it's a very much could go very well.
Could go very bad. And that is sort of where my heart lies, because hearing the news of like Jet Set Radio,
Crazy Taxi coming back.
Of course, 100%. Your first reaction is to get gas.
You're like, what the heck? And then we put our actual critique brains on and think, hold on a second. Let's think of how the industry is moving right now, what's going on, and then think of this logically. Yeah, we might end up getting ads as well, like sprinkled into the game if it's going to be free to play. So, boy. But it's interesting. Definitely interesting to see where they will go with this. And I really do hope that in the next 5 years, like if it's already released and everything, it becomes successful, because then that incentivizes other companies to be like, yo, let's actually start redoing our own classic games. Do you know what I'm saying? So very interesting how Fortnite was the inspiration. I'm not surprised, but I'm actually surprised at the same time for a game like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. But I think just because of the model that Fortnite has provided as a free-to-play game.
With season
passes in an affordable way, and also at the same time, just the way it's just kind of grasped the masses by the balls has been insane.
Got them in a headlock.
And what better way to do it than two of your cult classic games?
True.
So there is also speculation, because obviously Sega is more or less partnered with Microsoft, that there is a high possibility that it could be something that could be on the Game Pass as well. Free to play, easy to access. All of these things, all the pieces are slowly lining up. So according to the news, it seems very much in line with what could potentially happen. The sources, obviously it's reported on Bloomberg, but you know, there's also been similar sources that reported the whole PlayStation situation with regards to their new tier system. So that was quite reliable. So we're hoping that this pretty much follows through as something that will be quite similar within that environment. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm excited. Hopefully it incentivizes other companies like EA to bring back, you know, EA Big or other titles that are quite inspiring. SSX. So, yeah. With that being said, we're going to leave it at that. Let us know what you guys think. How do you feel about Jet Set Radio and Crazy Taxi coming back? But also, what games would you like for there to be a reboot of? That would be interesting. What other games would you like to see aside from Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio? I want to see. We're gonna do an episode on this, but I want to see Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup.
I'm done.
Or even just like Quidditch games, bro. Like people, I need someone to just understand how sick that game was. That game is.
Hogwarts Legacy is coming. So there's that.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah. But on that note, I've been Archie.
I've been Yuri.
Stay safe.
Stay inspired.
Woo.